Hi Ace family. Today we're going to talk about the padlock section and a little bit about our hardware stuff, just so you have kind of a general overview of everything so we can best help customers, and just want to make sure you have the knowledge to point everything out. So real quick on the padlocks, there's a lot of different styles and a few different brands. Generally, Ace is going to carry the Master Locks, which is the premium brand in the padlock name, and then the other brand is going to be Ace. And what Ace does is private label a quality item and then just make sure the customer gets it to a good price, so it has a good buy, so that they can get taken care of if they don't need the functionality of the premium brand. So almost all of these are keyed. Every time a padlock comes in a 3-pack or a 4-pack or a 2-pack, those locks will be keyed the same, always. And so that gives you some options there. There's some where you can set your own combination and twist those, and just really pay attention to sometimes there's some not very obvious differences, some subtle differences between the locks. So right here, this 3-pack locks is almost double compared to this 3-pack locks. Well, this is a stainless steel version of it, and so that's going to hold up a lot better, especially if you're in a moist environment. Obviously, with the ag industry around here, guys might be using these for potato cellars or something with high humidity. That could be a good option for that sort of application. But all these are keyed with the Master. There's some specialty locks that are a little bit more difficult to get into, that do a better job of locking it. And as we go down, we just get into some different sizes of shackle sizes. Sometimes an opening or a trailer can only accommodate a certain size here. So as we move down here, we've got your classic school dial locks, bike locks, combination locks, and then we've got the wire rope locks. These locks are for a fingerprint application, so you load your fingerprint and it unlocks them. Kind of a neat feature if someone's into technology. Let's see, we've got our TSA luggage locks right here. So when you go through our port security, if you want to make sure your luggage is secure and want it locked, don't want anyone else getting into it, the TSA has a special lock because they've got a universal key, so they can still search it if they need to go through something. So otherwise they will cut your lock if you don't have a TSA approved lock. So all you have to do, got Ace and Master locks, just look for the TSA approval on there if someone's traveling, and then they'll be good to go on there. So just pop. All right, so down here we've got some containers of locks that you can fit different keys into, that might be combination, that maybe you have to leave a key somewhere so that you can attach it and give someone else the code so they can get into something. And then really on the bottom, I wanted to spend a little bit of time and talk about these, because these locks are absolutely awesome, and it's very important that you know about these for retail. So these locks down here are a Master lock invention, and basically that's not going to be a good example here. That's harder to see. See if I can have one of these that's easy to see. Okay, so on a normal lock, see if I can grab one here, because it's important that you see. Can the camera see that? Okay. So this lock that's already done, the brass piece is recessed in it, and on this lock it's not recessed. Okay, you see that? Okay, so these are actually, you can make with any key as long as it's an M1 key. So if someone's buying a 3-pack of locks and they need 4, or if they need 10 keys or 10 locks or 50 locks. I've done these. I've had a customer order 60 or 70 of these before, and they are awesome. So what we do is we key them. So if they have an existing key for their business that it's one key and it opens all their padlocks. That's what these are for. So as long as we have that key, we shove it in, and we've got a special tool that we smack it with a hammer, and it will work with that lock. There's no way to change the key to work with something else. It will only work with that key from there on out, but it's absolutely awesome to have that as an option. So keep that in mind. It's awesome if, you know, if someone does need a 4-pack and then they go, oh, I need one more lock, and you want them all the same key, it can be a great way to go ahead and make the sale and get them taken care of. The other thing I wanted to talk about with locks is through the Ace warehouse, we can absolutely order tons of locks that take the same key, where we don't have to rekey them like this does, because it does take a little bit more time, and you have to learn how to do it. But if a customer says, hey, we're replacing all of our locks, I need, 100, 200, maybe it's only 5, whatever, of the same lock. There's several stocked in our warehouse where they're the Master Lock brand and then the Ace brand. And whenever I quote it for customers, I usually quote them for both of them so that they've got some options for them. There was a school that needed new locks, and we were able to get them a really good price on those and have them all work with the same key, so that it's nice and easy for them, and we know what code that they have for them. So something else to keep in mind too. Now, I promised you we'd talk about the hardware for a little bit, so we're going to scoot over here, and I'll just do that real quick. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the hardware. All I'm going to ask you is try to keep it in mind, try to make it fun, try to make it a game when helping customers. There are all sort of little stamp parts, the hinges or latches that might work for a customer's project, and just keep some of these pieces in mind. I'm going to trust you just to look over these and try to get a feel for everything. And I want to point out the stuff that I feel is very important for you to know. So on all these loose hardware, so I bolts and J bolts and U bolts sitting here, there's a stark color difference when we get to the bottom. And the reason I want to point this out is these bottom ones here are stainless steel, so they're double or triple the price. And we want to make sure communication is our weapon in the world, and how we can best help customers is to communicate with them. We've had some folks in the past go, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Well, I need it, I'll take it anyway, but they're not happy about it. And if we just take 2 seconds and go, oh my gosh, you grabbed a stainless steel one, no wonder it's so expensive. Do you want to trade it for one that's not and save some money? And sometimes you need the stainless and sometimes you don't, but that's a very easy mistake to make. So that's kind of the spiel on the stainless steel ones here. Stainless steel just doesn't corrode nearly as quick as the rest of them, but then your trade-off is more money, and if you're especially inside, sometimes you don't need the stainless. So there's that aspect here. Moving on, we've got these, the technical name for these are cable pullers, but the word that's popular around here is a come along. And basically it is a hand-powered winch. So you might see a winch on the front of a Jeep or on a trailer, so that you can pull things onto it. That's exactly what this is. It's just a big ratcheting type, so that you can use your hands and do what a machine can do. So so that's very popular for our area. Let's see, the last thing I wanted to discuss on the hinges. So the hinges that we have real fast are, you can go by the holes. Some of them are 3 holes, some of them are 4 hole. Just look at that. But I think there's 3 different types of hinges, and we're going to know in a second here. So pay attention to the corners when you're helping a customer. The corners right here, there are 90-degree square corners. And then we have corners that are a 1/4 inch radius on them. And then we have corners that are a 5/8 of an inch radius. Just about 100% of the time when a customer returns these, it's because of that angle, and it depends on how the door was cut to begin with, what kind of a radius they do. So so there's 3 different ones. We're going to go with that number: the 5/8 inch radius, the 1/4 inch radius, and then a 90-degree corner. It's an easy detail to miss when you're looking at it and go, okay, I've got the height, I'm going to run to the hardware store, and then you forget to look at the corner right there. So just be aware of that. Otherwise, over here, if there's an attached garage, it is code to have a spring-loaded door between your house and your garage for fire code, and that's what these are self-closing hinges. So they're just a little bit more special. I just wanted to point that out to you. There's certainly a lot more types of hinges and whatnot here with gate supplies, but I think everything else is going to be about self-explanatory for you. And if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like you don't quite get something after you look at this real thoroughly after this video, please do not be afraid to ask. We're here to help, to support you so that you can support the customers, get them taken care of. So that's about all I got. Thanks.